The wind. Riding aboard the Grand Cipher, soaring across yet another cloud bank, I felt a pang of envy. The wind goes where it pleases, and it arrives when it may, a quality I have long sought to adapt to my fighting style. Here I stood in comparison, shackled to my duties as captain of a knightly order. Oft have I imagined the brighter futures I might have discovered, if only I were faster, more like the gale. Had I risen like a storm front, I could have prevented wars. Had I rushed like a squall, I could have circumvented tragedy. But as the wind continues flowing forward, so too does the passage of time. Idle ponderings would change nothing. I had exchanged my freedom for the greater good. Quietly, I repeated a promise I made long ago. Henceforth, I shall endeavor to combat adversity, so much as I can, for as long as I live. Happily, this hasn't been a hard course to follow, for it runs parallel to the path of the crew. Gracious hosts and, on occasion, lively companions.
I want you to broaden your horizons for the betterment of our kingdom.
I now see the wisdom and kindness behind King Carl's decree. For it was my journey aboard the Grand Cipher that taught me how to cast control to the winds, to ride unbound and at the mercy of the gales.
Right. Would you take this one? It's in your hands now. Come to view the request, here it is. This one, yes? Good luck out there. Right.
Stand opposed to justice.
Leave defense to me!
I shall not falter. What's hardship but a chance to grow?
Good!
4-4!
Catch this!
You won't prevail! No escape!
Looking good. Too bad for you. Not yet. Stay focused. Up here. Looking good. Just like that. That's it.
Make them stop!
Wide open. On guard. Away with you. Now. They're finished. Nice work out there.
I see you still have strength left for humor.
Relink. Heads up, guys. Keep your eyes trained on them. Clarity. I shall not falter. Descend. Smothering. Once more. What? Fall. Panacea.
I am in your debt.
Whoa! Give me. Heal.
Don't let him finish trying!
Looking good. It's over. On guard. You won't prevail. Free. You're finished. Fall. Quite the improvement. Wide open. Too slow. Wide open. Let the frost take you. Away with you. Give it. Stay focused. Just like that. On my mark. On guard. Wide open. Let's end this! Like that! On my... Too slow! Away with you! Give it! Looking good! A fine plan! Catch this! On guard! Too slow! Away with you! Surrender! How's this? I'll take the front. You've given me courage. This edge! It's smothering me! Behold! I'll come by fangs of gleaming ice! Honor will prevail! Captain, here it comes! Tempest flame! Take this! Blue detonation! Nothing can stand against us. Thanks! Stay focused! Heads up, guys! Smothering me! Quite the improvement! No escape! Too slow! Wide open! What? Not yet! Hold firm! Try not to move! On guard! Nay! Give it! Just like that! Away with on my mark! Fall! This edge!
What's with the sand?
Smothering! Wide open! Give it! Just like that! Away with you! Too slow! I'll protect you! Relink! Catch this! Direct hit! Looking good. Wide open. On guard. With him. Okay. Yeah. Give it. Too slow. Fall. Away with you! Let the frost take you! You won't prevail! 4-4! Looking good! Away with you! Slow! Catch this!
Think you can stop it from turning?
Too slow! Wide open!
Oh, that should be the last of them, which means quest complete.
Useful. Oh? After this, it's back to training.
Had enough rest?
Where are we going?
Ready for some action?
Hello there. Here it is. Would you take this one? Please be careful. The tigress, suffer her claws.
I'll take the front line.
Oh, thank you. Before the box.
Looking good. Just like that. Relink.
Rain on. The final song. Fly! No one can listen.
Who's got it from here?
Crescent moon! Look.
Nice.
Letter. Dawnfly stance. Evanescence.
Just like that.
Wind. Fly. Letter. Like
Clarity.
Night falls. The clouds clear.
Relink.
Once more. The butterfly emerges.
Dude, they called for Daddy!
Looking good. I'll protect you. Phalanx!
Swift as thought, certain as death. Foam on the sea. The tide rises.
Just like that.
The final. This is my destiny.
I'll be right there. Let's get you standing.
Captain, I owe you my life.
Got you covered.
I'll do my best for you. Come on.
Look and catch this.
Level.
Where did these come from?
Looking good.
Night falls. Swift as thought, certain as death. Rain on the hills. There is but what left. I won't disappoint you.
Catch this. Look at. Leave defense to me. I'll protect you.
Foam on the sea.
I'll take a front.
Great support.
Reagan leg. Whoa.
Like the dawn, the final. Rain on the.
Looking good. Just like that. Looking good.
Butterfly comes up naked!
Try not to move. Carmaya.
Sorry to worry you. Wind in the fields. Free flutters.
Looking good.
Come. Swift as thought.
Don't let him steal your rope!
Like the dawn moonrise, the tide swells. All is swept away. Captain!
I'll get him. Not now, not ever.
Rain on the...
Take this.
Chaos detonation! We do what we can.
Aw, thanks.
Flutter.
I'll protect you.
Thank you, Captain.
Let's patch you up.
You're so thoughtful, Captain. Oh, Captain! Crescent moon. Come on.
Catch this.
Free flutter.
Looking good.
Come, my friend.
Just like that. On my mark.
Wind in the field. They've gone mad.
Let's stay cautious.
Like the dawn. Rain on the hills. one's close.
All clear!
The pond settles. The tide rises. Foam on the sea. The butterfly. Pass away.
Looking good!
Weird beats come down.
Wind in the fields.
Just like that!
Nice fall. The pond settles.
Looking good!
Foam on the sea. Great support. The butterfly emerges. The tide rises. Life is a... Rain on the hills. Crescent moon. Evanescence. Free-fluttered. Soar. Small wings may beckon shore. Butterfly effect. Moonlight. Wind in the fields. There is but come, my friends. Nice fall!
Where beats come from?
Swift as thought. Foam on the sea. Dawnfly stands.
Just like that!
The pond settles. The tide rises.
Looking good!
Rain on the hills. Pass away. Let it. Foam on the... sea.
I'll take the front line!
Nice balls.
Let's patch you up! Dragon leg!
No one's close.
Looking good! Just like that!
Wind in the field.
Catch this!
It must be done. Come, my friends.
Just
Crescent
like
moon. Float like the dawn.
Looking good!
Rain on the hills.
See ya!
Big sisters all better now.
cover.
Swift as
Looking good.
Worn out!
foam on the sea. The tide rises. Life is a again.
Leave defense to
I
me.
won't disappoint you.
Dragon leg.
Wind in the field.
Catch this. Looking good.
Come, my friend. Nightfall.
Just like that.
Have a message. Spread your float.
Looking good.
Rain of
Patch you up.
come, my
Dragon
friend.
leg. Let's patch you up.
This is not my destiny.
I'll be right there.
Crescent moon. Soar. Small wings may beckon a storm. Butterfly effect. Moonrise. Captain!
I'll get him. Tempest flame.
Take this! Chaos detonation! We do what we can.
Aw, thanks.
Wind in the field.
I'll protect you.
Oh,
Relink.
thank you! Dawnfly stance.
Got you covered. Catch
Let it.
this.
Nightfall. Rain on the hills. Have a message!
Dragon leg.
Like the dawn. Once more.
Looking good. Looking good.
The butterfly emerges.
Just like that.
Crescent moon.
Clarity.
Great support. Foam on the sea. The pond settles. The butterfly emerges.
Catch this.
Rain on the no one's coming. Nightfall.
Looking good. Leave defense to me. Dragon leg.
Evanescence. I won't disappoint you. Free flutters.
Everyone okay?
Worn out now!
Watch out for their next attack.
Don't take your eyes off them.
The tide rises. Float. Wind in the fields.
Catch this. Looking good.
Right.
Just like that.
The clouds clear. Oh, thank you! Small wings may beckon a storm. Butterfly effect. Moonrise. Night fall.
Looking good. Just like that.
Wind in the field. Pass away. Not yet.
Looking good.
The butterfly emerges.
Just like that.
The clouds clear.
Looking
The
good.
tide rises. The butterfly break. Float.
Just like that.
The clouds clear. The pond settles. The final.
Clarity. Panacea.
You're so thoughtful, Captain. Foam on the sea. Night falls.
Just like that.
No one's coming, friends.
I'll protect you. Feelings.
The tide rises.
Got you covered.
Rain on the hills.
Looking good.
Try again.
Looking.
Dawn flies.
They can stop
Reagan
The
leg.
clouds clear. The pond settles.
Looking good.
Float. Crescent moon. Foam on the sea.
Everyone okay?
I'm feeling right as rain.
Looking good. Just like that.
The butterfly emerges. Rain on the hills.
Looking good. Let's patch you up.
careful.
There is but one path, my friends. The tide rises. Pass away. Foam on the sea. Letter.
Looking good.
One stroke. 1,000 deaths. Butterfly effect. Moonrise. Captain.
I'll get him. Temptation flame.
Nightfall.
Take this. Chaos detonation.
Float. We do what we can.
Aw, thanks.
Rain on the hills.
Clarity.
The tide rises.
Looking good.
Come, my
They
friends.
can stop us.
Wind in the field.
Just like that.
Float.
Looking good.
Crescent moon. Again, rain on the hills. Come what may. I won't disappoint you. Three flutters fly. The final. Foam on the tide rises. Swift as thought, certain as death!
Looking good! Just like that!
Crescent moon!
All clear!
Oh, Captain! Wind and... The field.
It's over already? Boy, you're on a roll.
Lovely. Lucky me. Dawn flies. Flutter. I am strong.
Right.
Memory is a sea of clouds.
Oops, and also... Just point me to my target. To the hunter, go the spoils. Well, well, we prevail yet again. Everyone! That's awful. Let's not do that.
Thank you.
Come to view the request. Here it is. I can make the arrangements at once. Good luck out there.
Income!
I'll take the front line!
Here goes.
Breaking way!
Picture the arrow. Rain from above!
Sweet!
Center. Try to run! Ready!
Catch this!
I've got you now! These eyes have never failed me.
Heads up, guys!
Keep your eyes on them! No mercy!
Reagan Leg!
Focus. You're mine! Incoming! Picture the arrow. Defensive arrows! Center your breathing. Now, break them!
Here goes!
Eat this!
Looking good! Catch this! Look at this!
Let's go! Keep your eyes on them. I've got you now.
I'll protect you! Felix!
Oh no! Now where was I? Center your breathing. Rain from above! Hit him! I see everything you...
You made that look easy.
Very well done. Mm-hmm. Not bad. Wow. Try to run. Another one down.
Feast your eyes on my incredible merchandise!
Welcome! Sending out the old crew signal, eh? Who should we vote? important, I'll import it. Just say the word.
Get! Heard you've needed my blade! Draw them weapons! We got fogies! Schooled like a fish! Read like a book! Schooled like a... Played like a fiddle! Read like a book! Try to keep up! Over here, you dunce! Just testing you, lad! Ever tried fighting a shadow? No running for me! Where you looking? Try to keep up! You're wide open! Real, let's school ya! It's curtains for ya! Reel 'em in! Smell you later! MTV! Played like a fiddle! Schooled like a... Red letter wide open! Watch 'em flounder! It's curtains for ya! Schooled like a fish! Hey! Ho! No running for me, guys! You're wide open! Enough! The shadow creeps! And none shall escape the cover of a shroud! Dust to dust! Played like a fiddle! Hey! Reel 'em in! How's about we end it? You're wide open! Have at ya! Read like a book! No running for me! Where you looking? It's curtains for ya! You're wide open! What a guppy! Smell you later!
Appreciate the support.
Huh? My turn?
Yeah?
How you doing? Couldn't agree more. No. Huh. Ah. What would I do without you? That's sniffy. Yeah, my heart. Gather round, friends. Do you know what I think? Getting lost is the journey.
Daddy's ain't got nothing on you.
Got me.
Easier than eating apples.
Take that.
Huh? Time already?
I smell a new easier than eating apples.
Okay, concentrate on your form. Now lock in. That's it.
Ah! Get him! You can do it! All right. Nice. Oh, whoa, so close!
Not a problem. Ah. and shield! Get that extended warranty for your airship! Best prices in town! When you shop for welcome!
And also... Yeah?
Skyfarers, huh? All right, let's get to it. Your weapons won't betray you.
Yes, can I help you? Here it is. I can make the arrangements. Good luck out there.
All right.
Better chump the waters, folks! No dick! I'll take the front line! It'll burn me as a pickle! Reagan Way! No running for me! Just testing you, lad! Catch this! Smell you later! Try to keep up! Bet you can't hit me! Reagan Way! Over here, you played like a fiddle, schooled like Nice! Mercy me! I'll protect you! Feel. Thanks. How's about we end it? Looking good. Try to keep up. Sky. Best guard your loins, folks. Careful. Let's patch you up.
Running for me! Where are you looking? Just let me at him! Let me at him!
Looking good. Just like that.
That's a big one!
Right. Looking good. Just like that.
Read like a book. Schooled like a...
I'll take the foot.
That hit the spot. Over here, you dunce! Mercy me! Reel him in!
Just like that.
Smell you later! Best gird your loins, folks!
Be careful.
Where are you looking?
Looking good. Reagan leg.
How's about we end it?
Like one of these.
Be fit as a fiddle tune.
Leave defense to me.
Ever tried fighting?
Looking good.
Read like a book. Schooled like a bird.
Catch this.
Read like a book. Over here, you... Done! No running for me!
Reagan leg.
Empty face!
We fought as one. Catch this.
Try to keep up! Where are you looking?
Reagan leg. Here goes.
No run! Running for me!
Look at her! I'll protect you! Phalanx! Catch this!
Oh, that should be the last of us, which means quest complete.
Not bad. Lovely. Not so bad, was it?
Sure, I'll tag along.
Hello there.
There's something about the pure blue sky that pierces the soul. Whenever I glimpsed its light, I felt my spirits lifted upward. But when I tried to reach out and capture its brilliance, I would find myself empty-handed. I knew I was a fool for believing I could touch it, but I would give anything to be in its presence, bathed in its warmth, just once more. How I detested that radiance, a light I shunned, rejected, and despised, and above all, yearned for. Is it irrational to both loathe and cherish something? My emotions had been in disarray, driving me towards madness. But to understand what led to that incongruity, I need to start from the beginning. Fate was set in motion roughly 2,000 years ago, when the astral Lucilius created assistants to aid his research into Sky Dweller evolution. They were the original primal beasts, though they went by a different name. Archangels. Given that we primals are immortal, the role which we are bestowed becomes our sole purpose for existing. Yet, when I was created, Supreme Primarch Lucifer saw fit to grant me nothing. I was essentially a blank slate, little more than the hollow husk of a primal. With unwavering determination, I stalked the garden of the Astral Research Lab, waiting for my chance to question Lucifer. What was my purpose in life? Only he had the answer I desperately sought. With each passing moment, the whirling tempest of inferiority and doubt within my mind grew fiercer. As my disillusionment deepened, I came to view the Supreme Primarch as my only salvation. His wisdom, his skill, and even his poise. Everything about him was sublime. It was only fitting that he was beloved by all. I was convinced there was no other being as perfect as him. Indeed, he was the light that illuminated the world. And thus, I endeavored to prove that I could be of use to him. The only way I could pull my weight was to secure a role for myself. It became an obsession. I was but a tender hatchling, pestering its parent for nourishment. If only I had been more careful of what I wished for. One day, I finally learned the truth of my purpose, and it destroyed me. I wouldn't go so far to say I was eavesdropping. More like, I happened to be within earshot of a conversation between Lucilius and Lucifer. From this innocuous meeting, my entire world changed forever. A spare. I was Lucifer's spare. temporary stand-in for the Supreme Primarch, should circumstances go awry. However, when you're the definition of perfection like Lucifer, a spare becomes redundant. Not only was I born a backup, I was a useless one. My dreams were built on hope, respect, and admiration. Yet, it wasn't until everything came crashing down that I realized how flimsy that foundation had been. In one brief flash, I came to hate the light. Much time passed after that shocking revelation, though little of note occurred. Later, however, a faction of the Archangels rose up in rebellion against the Astrals. They were the fallen angels, primals who believed themselves to be at the top of the food chain, radicals who snapped at the hands of their creators. Their mission was to shake up the hierarchy. Lost in rage from being tossed aside like a broken doll, I joined the rebellion without hesitation. It was my chance to claim revenge on Lucifer and Lucilius. No, just Lucifer. But the revolt was quashed, and I, along with the fallen angels, was imprisoned in Pandemonium. I languished in that colossal cage for 2 millennia, an eternity, even for a being with all the time in the world. Yet, as chance would have it, when Vern and Lyria came in contact with each other for the first time, a deafening roar reverberated across the skies, signaling the opportunity for me to escape. But when I emerged back into the open skies, Lucifer was nowhere to be found. I wanted to be berated. I yearned to be scolded. But above all else, I needed acknowledgement. And I wouldn't rest until I got what I deserved. If I needed to light the world ablaze just to smoke him out, so be it. I destroyed the equilibrium between the tetra elements, fire, water, earth, and wind. Deprived of that delicate balance, the islands would lose buoyancy and crash into the crimson horizon below. My lips twisted into a grin as I watched the Primarch scramble to put out my fires. Wiping out the world wasn't even that hard. I had barely broken a sweat. I shed no tears for the ruin of the skies. My focus was exhausted, suffocated by the stranglehold Lucifer kept on my heart. Darkness had conquered my judgment to the point where not even his light could mollify me. But that was what I wanted. What possessed me to commit such atrocities? Why did I lash out with such rancor? I asked rhetorically. I already knew the answers. I didn't care if I became a villain. All I cared about was proving my existence. Nothing was going to stop me. Come what may, I was going to force his hand. I chose to believe there was a method to my madness. To be punished for my crimes would validate my birth. Leaving behind a wake of destruction was my way of crying out for attention. No matter how foolish an act it was, nothing could have stopped me. There was only one way to soothe my tortured soul. All I needed was for one person to admit that I mattered, to tell me I belonged in this world. In the end, it was the captain and crew who thwarted my realm-raising intentions. My plan to sow havoc and turmoil in the skies by releasing the fallen angels from Pandemonium never stood a chance. Perhaps I should have seen my failure coming. Nothing got past Lucifer. His stringent vigil over Pandemonium prevented the skies' impending doom. He appeared before me in my time of defeat. Every pent-up emotion inside of me, excess baggage accumulated over the past 2,000 years, erupted all at once. Grief from feeling worthless, misery from being ignored, despair from everlasting rejection. Everything that had transpired was his fault. Hate me, destroy me, punish me, I begged. But Lucifer did not see fit to play my game. Instead, he accepted full responsibility for my crimes. No, it wasn't supposed to end that way. I wasn't interested in clemency. I sought to beget calamity in order to be struck down by the Supreme Primarch's own hand. Were he to forgive my transgressions, my hatred for the light over these past centuries would have been for naught. To my dismay, the punishment I desired never came. Lucifer sealed me within the gentle warmth of his core, where I succumbed to a deep sleep. I found myself in a place where time ceased to flow. It was the perfect cloister, where I had nothing but my thoughts to keep me company. Then one day, Lyria came to see me. She fought to make me see reason, drawing examples from her own life experiences. The girl spoke of grappling with personal inadequacies. She hadn't known what her purpose in life was, or even who she was. But despite those hurdles, she eventually found a place to call home. Likewise, she believed it wasn't too late for me to discover my true self. Could Lucifer and I actually come to understand one another someday? It was a tempting thought, one that caused cracks to form in my rigid facade. Perhaps I had misunderstood Lucifer all along. The stronger the light, the darker the shadow. When one is faced with such dazzling brightness, the only escape is to look away. Could it be that I was being bathed in his light all this time? The walls of my confines melted away, and I was transported to a shrine in Canaan. I could feel Lucifer's presence close by. Faint though it was, I followed his aura until I finally found him. Or at least, what was left of him. His head lay on the ground, devoid of a vessel to bear it. Despite the loss of his senses, he seemed to comprehend that someone was present.
Please. I have a message for the ears of one named Sandalphon. I leave my power and the position of Supreme Primarch to him.
Even in his dismembered state, his mind lingered on the Sky Realm. It's no wonder he irritated me so. He always did as he pleased. Consequences to others be damned. The skies! All you ever talk about is this worthless realm! I went off on a tirade, though I don't know how much of it got through to him, given his state. His last words took a turn toward the philosophical.
What makes the sky blue? For thousands of years, people have wondered. And even once they grasped the science, they continued to ask. It struck me. Perhaps a question. Wondering why, how, what to do. That eternal questioning, wishing, seems to be where evolution leads.
As he drew his final breath, he spoke not as the Supreme Primarch, but as himself.
If I could be granted one last wish, I'd like to share one more cup of coffee with you in that shaded garden.
My chest ached, and the yearning for the light returned. His already dim glow continued to fade. I felt his power, along with his wishes, being passed on to me. All I could do was stand there in a sigh. I peered out of the shrine and gazed at the expansive blue he loved so much. His calming light would forever shine across the skies, illuminating the path forward, an undying beacon to guide those who lost their way. Disaster never seems to sleep. Not long after I had inherited Lucifer's power, another crisis threatened the world. This time it was Lucilius who took offense to the gods, unleashing chaos to spit in their faces. His plan, or grand finale in his words, was to crash Pandemonium into the Crimson Horizon, thereby destroying the dimensional barrier. To make matters worse, the Astral had the gall to attach his head to Lucifer's stolen body. It fueled him with immense power in the form of 12 pitch-black wings on his back. It was my duty to uphold the Supreme Primarch's legacy and protect the realm. I teamed up with the captain and crew to stop Lucilius dead in his tracks. I'd finally found friends I wanted to protect. The fate of an entire world rested on my shoulders. This mission was personal. It wasn't so much about keeping promises or seeking atonement, nor was it to fulfill my duty as the Supreme Primarch. I simply wished to safeguard those I held dear. By some miracle, I had become the light that could banish evil. Lyria kept a white plume with her, perhaps as a good luck charm, without knowing what it truly represented. The plume resonated with me, and from my back grew 12 great wings. 2 were my own, followed by 6 bestowed by the Supreme Primarch. The other Primarchs contributed the final 4, 1 from each respective owner. With the weight of everyone's faith borne upon my wings, we defeated Lucilius, the Sky Realm's greatest threat, once and for all. A saga spanning 2 millennia had at last come to an end. It wasn't until some days later, as I stood on the deck of the soaring Grand Cipher, that I would have the chance to reflect on the immediate aftermath of our duel with Lucilius. After the Astral's downfall, a dimensional rift opened and began pulling Lyria in. I remember the wind roaring in my ears as I flew to rescue her. The next thing I knew, I awoke in a place without time. I seemed to have returned back to the garden at the research lab, or some sort of recreation of it at least. A figure walked up to me and reached out a hand. It was Lucifer. Was I dreaming? Was this merely an illusion? We sat in the serene garden, sipping coffee and waxing nostalgic about events that took place 20-odd centuries ago. I couldn't stop my thoughts from spilling out. There were so many things to apologize for, so much gratitude to be expressed. And that's not to mention the myriad questions I felt compelled to ask. I reiterated my commitment to act as the new Supreme Primarch. And before long, the moment of our parting had arrived. In the past, I always had to watch him leave. But now, it was his turn to see me off. I had to be strong. For his sake, it was time to bid farewell to the eternal light of my adoration. I put forth my best smile. Till next time.
What does it mean to be the strongest? We've all wrestled with our inadequacies at one point or another. I know I have. Doesn't matter how old you are or where you come from. Everyone wants to be the top dog. So, what exactly does it take to reach the peak of Mount Awesome? Power, be it physical, economic, or political, is all about using the right leverage. Like a high-stakes game of rock, paper, scissors. For instance, You can't always outflex a sharp wit with muscles alone. Your environment plays an important role in shaping your strengths, too. A desert denizen shrugs off the heat, no sweat. A kid raised in the streets tends to be savvier than a child of privilege. As you can see, everyone thinks they know what strength is, but it isn't that cut and dry. Leave definitions to the dictionary. I prefer to follow my gut. What we need is a unified baseline predicated on common sense. Something along the lines of, being the strongest means never losing to anyone. Ever. And that's why the Eternals had to be created. So, we're a group of 10 who command the most powerful weapons in the skies. And I'm the Big Kahuna. That's right, the lovable Star Sword Sovereign. But you can just call me Sovan. Think of us as the bouncers of the Sky Realm. We roam the skies, staring down would-be troublemakers while wagging our fingers no. Look deep into your heart and ask yourself if you'd stoop to villainy under the watchful eyes of the world's strongest good guys. What? No, you wouldn't. Stop lying. It doesn't take a genius to figure out what happens when a stoppable force meets an immovable crew. Some have even accused us of being a mafia witch. I mean, that's just flat out disrespectful. Look, we never claimed we were perfect. There are more than enough nations and leaders out there who view our autonomy as a threat to their interests. Our plans have backfired on us before, leading to unnecessary animosity and resentment. Mistakes have definitely been made. Yet despite all that, and this is just between me and you, okay? Recruiting the world's biggest badasses sounded way too fun to pass up. I knew getting the strongest people in the world to gel wouldn't be easy. It was hard enough convincing them to join the team, let alone work as one. You win some, you lose some. Now I know what you're dying to ask. Whenever people gossip about us, they always feel the need to bring it up. So, let's get this out of the way and put the subject to bed. There can only be one who wears the crown of strongest Eternal. Only one whose bravery and deeds are second to none. Now, who could that be, I wonder?
Once upon a time, in a land far away, there was a lone swordsman famed for his two-sword style. He became a legend after fighting over 10,000 battles, and the mere sound of his name struck fear into the hearts of his enemies. Whenever he appeared in town, ne'er-do-wells were said to scramble away like spiders fleeing the light. Prospective fighters began to seek out the swordsman, and thus he gained quite the following of disciples. Amongst them, some were so strong they could crush warships with a single strike. One could do worse when choosing students of the martial arts. So the master abandoned the battlefield for the mountains, where he could train his beloved disciples in peace. There was one disciple who quickly stood leagues above the rest. It took her only a matter of days to master the most complicated techniques. She grew at an astonishing rate into one of the most powerful fighters the master had ever seen. But more impressive than her wits or her aptitude was the strength of her conviction. Every day the top disciple begged for harder training, and the master was willing to reward her passion with the very depths of his knowledge. And that's why... Oh, skies help me. That's why when the Master found out his top disciple had betrayed him, he was filled with anguish. She went rogue, forcing some of the other disciples to do her bidding. Eventually, the Master caught up with her, and they fought a deadly battle. When the dust settled, the top disciple's sword arm hung limp and unusable. It was a bittersweet victory, as the Master knew what must come next. He readied his blade, preparing to release her to the afterlife. But he couldn't force himself to make the cut. Not after all he had poured into this girl. Not after failing her so. Thus, he laid down his weapon and promised to live his remaining days in penance and regret. Oh, how our good intentions cloud even the most prescient vision. Having thrown away his name, his blade, and his path, he set out back into the world. But this time, swearing no one would suffer from his tutelage again. Time passed, and the swordsman found himself atop a different mountain, where he learned he had a knack for fishing. Suited him just fine. Bass for breakfast, salmon for supper, and naps in between. Yep, it suited him just fine. It was the quiet, healing life of a hermit. Sometimes, when he needed supplies, he would go down to the village and train the locals in a little sword work. That made his coin purse jingle again. But this peace wasn't to last for the swordsman. He discovered his top disciple was back to her wicked ways, and, sword in hand, he vowed to conclude her story for good. This was his true purpose for traveling with the crew. Though the young captain never suspected the little Harvan fisherman was harboring such a dark secret. The former disciple's latest victim had been a simple man from a remote mountain area, cut down, somehow without the use of her sword. A real shame that one more innocent life lost before its time. The swordsman asked the crew to make haste to the village. When he saw the murdered man's corpse, such was the carnage that he could barely keep from averting his eyes. It was his weakness, his cowardice, that cost this poor man's life. But this time, instead of wallowing in pity, he would don his white uniform of old and atone. He called it his burial garb, and it represented his fearlessness on the battlefield. If he were dressed to meet death face to face, what more could his foes do to intimidate him? Of course, his crewmates tried to reason with him, concerned he might throw his life away to make up for the wrongdoing of another. But the Swordmaster was determined. He had vowed to stop his former disciple, whatever risk that entailed. So, when finally the moment of reckoning had come, the Master gripped his blade, ready to strike down his favored pupil. Before he could do the deed, however, his resolve crumbled. His emotions were too strong, dulling his senses and causing him to lose the match. The Master's former youngest disciple, with his two newest pupils watching from the sidelines, rushed to aid him. Ironically, it was the youngest disciple who struck down the fiend in place of the Master. The swordsman was lost in grief, but his newfound champion told him this was for the best. After all, such an old life deserved the rest of its days to be spent in peace. After joining up with the crew, I've had some helter-skelter days, let me tell you. So when we arrived in Zega Grande, I knew I needed to get myself some fishing done. Reset the old noggin. Found a nice, quiet pond and dropped my line. Bless me taters. Must have been hours past with no bite. Finally, I decided to pull up my rod and check if the bait was still hardy. But there weren't no bait, no hook, and no fish. Only a lonely little bobber remained on the line. Right, well, what about me traps? I was halfway through the search when I realized, blast, I left them in the lodge. What a day, what a day. But it was too late in the noon to go back for them, and I had other business to attend to, like getting back to the pond and staring out at the clear water. In that moment of stillness, the fishies swam out of their hiding spots. There were big ones and little ones, and the whole school of them reminded me of my teaching days. Each of my disciples was unique in their own right. Had me some slow learners and some fast ones, some goody two-shoes and some real punks. I learned me some good lessons from those kids. My top student, Grace, never wavered in her particular sense of justice, and her commitment to her training was ironclad. What a waste. Rains, my youngest pupil, lost his way for decades after leaving my tutelage, but he ended up killing Grace in my stead. He was selfless, thinking only of his master. They say the master extracts potential from the student, but I fear I've ruined more young lives than I've helped. Makes a fisherman wonder how they all would have turned out had he just kept well enough to himself. I turned Grace into a monster. Not a day goes by I don't regret honing her skills. Unfortunately, she had the gift and the gumption to go far, and I exhausted all my knowledge on her. If only I had focused more on the why of my teachings rather than the what. Huh? I swore I felt a nibble at my rod, but when I pulled it up, there was nothing to be found. That's when I remembered I still hadn't hooked or baited the line. That was odd. I was getting antsy. Maybe it was because I forgot the traps, but I couldn't relax just sitting there anymore. I decided to pack up and head back into town. You see, the mind is like a creek. You want to keep it healthy. You gotta keep the waters from stagnating. But churn them too much, and you risk losing all your fish. I decided to head to Sierra's shack and replace some fishing gear, hopefully restoring my brain pond in the process. But just as I was dipping my toes into the placid waters of the lures and baits, I heard a rustle from behind. And to my surprise, they were my crewmates, picking up a package. Said they were bored at the inn and asked if they could come fishing with me. Youngsters so bored they wanted to go fishing? First time for everything, huh? While I was hammering out the finer points of fly casting with the captain, Sierra Carte piped up. Said she'd come across a pretty tasty rumor.
Yep, apparently there's a legendary fisherman in the skydom that people have started calling the Fisher God.
I'd heard rumors like this one before, and they always stank like fish guts. Catching 10 fish with one cast, netting a whole consortium of crabs. By yourself? Gah! If I had a fin for every story like this, I'd be a pretty scary sea monster by now. Then again, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't intrigued. There's a scale of truth to every story, so there must be a reason they call this person the Fisher God. Guess you might say my interest was piqued. Because if this fella were half as good as me, he'd make a mighty fine rival. And maybe that's just what I needed. After some consideration, I decided I would test my mettle against this so-called fisher god. The captain, Lyria, and Vern wanted to help out too. I asked around town where I might find such a rival, but he proved to be as mythical as his title suggested. Rumor had it that he appeared at ponds, peaks, and valleys. The others garnered about the same information, which only further piqued my interest. No matter who we asked, we could not catch the proverbial tail of the fisher god. All we learned was that he was skilled, able to catch 10 fish with one cast, yada yada, and any new species he caught would be named after him, meaning there were lots of little demigods swimming around now. With only tales of his escapades to feed us, and no concrete info, we grew weary. You can't sustain a healthy rivalry on rumor, after all. We needed to change our approach and re-examine the facts. All of the stories were about places he visited, meaning he'd never been spotted in town. With that in mind, we enlisted Sierra Carte to speed up the investigation. Sure enough, after a few days' time, she gave us a map dotted like it had the chickenpox. There were stamps on ponds and lakes, glaciers and volcanoes, and even a poisonous swamp. All of them locations where he'd been spotted. So the old fart got around, did he? Good to know he had an adventurous streak. After staring at the map for a while, I realized there was one place conspicuously without a stamp. It was the most dangerous island of all, known for the molten lava covering its surface. Going off my hunch, Sierra Carte did a little more digging around, and we learned a man with a fishing rod chartered a ship there a few days ago. The chase was on. Move it or lose it, folks. Now. Where's this fisher god?
Ah! We're monsters!
Hey, that's no good. Did we wake the spirits of this land?
The front line.
Played like a fiddle. That hit the spot. No running for me. Hey. Sky center. Come on, tadpole. Try to keep up! MTV!
Looking.
Schooled like a pig! Taste the pain! Have me a little... Ah!
Are you really gonna fish in a dangerous place like this?
Of course! We're not dealing with your average angler here. This is a fisher god we're after. Now, he should have left supplies or tracks or something. Keep your eyes peeled for him.
Okay, but we better be careful while we search.
This! Over here, you dunce! I'll protect you. Don't mind if I do.
Looking. Here we go.
Oh yeah!
Don't let up yet.
Huh? What was that? Just what the doctor ordered. Played like a try to keep up.
Looking good.
Ever tried fighting a shadow? Read like a book. No running. Keep up. Have at ya. Try to keep up. How's about we end it?
Looking good.
No running for me.
Ah! Don't scare me like that!
Looking good.
Now, if I were a fisher god, this is probably the bait I'd use. Just a hunch, though. Careful now! Those spirits look angry!
Those are the ones that...
Here's a pick. Back at him. Empty pick.
Looking good.
Fiddlestick. School like. Try to keep up. Over here, you. Mercy me!
Worn out, pal!
They'll never see it coming!
Breaking leg.
Played like a...
Looking good.
Read like a book! How's about we end it? Not bad! Thanks, Bob!
More!
That hit the spot! Sky!
Looking I'll protect you.
Enough! The shadow creeps, and none shall escape the cover of its shroud. Dust to dust!
good. Leave defense to
Just
me.
what the doctor ordered. Just testing it.
Light-blooded.
Let's patch you up.
Appreciate it.
Let's patch you
Now,
up.
where are those varmints? Over here, you dunce!
Pour out, pal.
Looking good.
Try to keep up! Hey!
Looking good.
We've come pretty far. This beast is killing.
Just a matter of time before we're there. Now hop to it. Oh, looks like somebody came through here. And they were collecting magma worms.
Breaking leg.
Hey, Sky! Hey, shatter! Read like a book. Little help?
Whoa! I see somebody. Maybe it's the Fisher God.
Very well could be. Give him a hello and see what's up.
Hey there. Can we talk a minute? Hey, mister. What the heck are you doing out here?
What's it look like? I'm fishing.
What fish? You might catch a few rocks if anything at all.
We fish, therefore they are. It's the deepest waters what hide the greatest prizes.
The proverb left his lips like a right prophet. This had to be our Fisher God.
I still don't get how fish could survive in lava.
And that's your problem.
His answer was cryptic, but it had its own logic. The captain, Lyria, and Vern cocked their heads to the side in confusion. Clear water or molten rock? Cast the rod and catch the fish.
Truer words were never spoken, friend.
Guess I've learned me something over the years. Those unblinking eyes. That unrelenting hunger for the catch. His tools were top-notch. More importantly, however, he had the aura of a man born to hunt the seas. But I didn't come to admire him. May we presume you are the fisher god?
And to what do I owe the accusation?
What do you say to a little fish-off betwixt the two of us?
Ah, now there's a song to my ears.
And thus, the net was cast.
Right.
Hello there.
We fish, therefore they are. It was a profound statement. Hang your line thinking you won't catch anything, and you won't notice even the heftiest bite. Determination was the most essential tool in the old tackle box. But then again, we were sat up next to a lava lake, and I would need more than simple chutzpah to pull a fish out of there. Luckily, I had me secret weapons.
Someone came prepared.
Beautiful, ain't they? I strung a special hook, carved from a flameworm's tooth, to a special line, spun from its mane. Been looking forward to the day I could bust out these bad boys.
Whoa! You're really going to do this?
The captain, Vern, and Lyria were stunned as I cast my rod into the lava.
Just what the heck are you old-timers expecting to catch?
Vern's voice was filled with confusion. It wasn't a moment longer when we made a believer out of him. Oh, a bite!
Me too!
The fisher god and I started pulling up catch after catch. It seemed like we both brought determination to spare. But the fish living inside the lava weren't no slouches neither. They were covered in armor like scales, and when we pulled them ashore, their flopping sent liquid death flying in every direction. Was kind of funny. So there we were, equally matched, neither side willing to back down, as our piles of molten fish gradually turned to hills. The captain, Lyria, and Vern were dumbstruck. Soon enough, our swordbacks told us it was time for a gentleman's break, and we decided to tally our scores. We counted each fish as we threw them back into the lava. Their physiology meant they couldn't be cooked. Don't want no sulfur in my sushi anyway. But they sprang back alive as soon as they were returned to their familiar warmth.
Should've known you'd be a shark on the rod.
Just trying to keep up. It was a rare thing to meet your match. The smiles on our faces were proof of that. Vern flew up to us.
Do all old dudes fish like that? If you went for broke, I wonder who would come out on top.
The fisher god and I locked eyes. We could feel the sparks flying.
Sounds like the gauntlet's been thrown.
Agreed. We've had enough of a warm-up.
Then you won't mind if we up the ante, huh?
He told us about a few local legendary fish that had eluded capture for years. Reminded me of the noble bonito from good old Fanta Grande. We agreed the winner would be the first to trap one of them fabled guppies. The prospect sent lightning through me body. The old spark was coming back.
All right, see you.
We got